Good afternoon. We are here at Meldon Law and Friends. This is our weekly podcast that we've been airing for 5 years now in North Central Florida. We have always great guests, and today is no exception. Miss Monica Gadson is sitting to my right, and we're going to get into some of her background and what she's doing and how she's helping people here in North Central Florida, where she's been a lifelong resident alongside myself. And now is actually you're in Ocala, even though you were born and raised in Gainesville. And we'll talk about your background as well in a few minutes. As always, we really appreciate everyone here listening to our podcast. If you ever have any people that you want to nominate or to have come in, please contact our office at Meldon Law at 352-373-8000. We're here at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, which serves tremendous food, all farm to table, no freezers except for the ice cream. If you haven't eaten here at Spurrier's, I would highly recommend it. We're really lucky to be in the podcast room, which is an incredible place, and this is one of the new centerpieces of Gainesville, Florida, is Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. So Gainesville has changed a lot, and this is one of the better changes, is having something like this down here in Celebration Point.
Yes, it is.
So without further ado, let's bring in our guest, Miss Gadson. Monica, welcome to the program.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
We are very fortunate to have you today. Today's episode is really going to be focused on helping people, which is something that we believe in at Meldon Law, and I know it's something that you believe a lot
Most definitely.
in your life as well. But before we get into that, tell me a little bit about yourself. You were born and raised here in Gainesville.
Yes, I've been born and raised here in Gainesville. I moved to Ocala about 6 years ago to further branch out my agency. It's a little more senior friendly, and it's been the best choice.
Tell me a little bit about the differences that you've seen between Gainesville and Ocala.
Traffic.
Okay.
Traffic, people, growth. Everything is just expanding and growing, and it's just a lot of opportunity there in Ocala.
Yeah. Lots of traffic, lots of growth.
Traffic, lots of growth, yes.
Well, I read something, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, that Ocala was the fastest growing city in Florida.
Oh, yeah, it's growing. It's day by day. It's growing, there's lots of opportunities, too.
And we have an office in Ocala right across from HCA and Advent.
Right.
And I can tell you that office is really busy. We're renovating it right now, and we love our Ocala. We've been serving Ocala for 40 years, and Ocala is a great place to operate, and the people there are nice folks.
I agree.
So
I agree.
So you're from Gainesville. We talked a little bit before the podcast. You went to PK Young.
Yes.
Okay. And so what before you moved to Ocala, what were you doing here in Gainesville?
Well, I've been a group treatment leader, and child care.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked in the detention center. I just had a
Juvenile
lot of
justice, right?
Juvenile justice.
I used to be a prosecutor many, many moons ago.
Really?
Yeah, 20 years ago in Daytona Beach. Not here. I was over in Daytona.
Okay.
And I did a little bit of juvenile work, and what y'all did it's tough. Those kids are no joke.
Oh, yeah. I loved it, though. I loved it.
Well,
I
of
loved
course.
it. And especially if you can connect and kind of make a little change,
They're strong-willed, though, young kids.
Oh, yeah.
They know that they have all the answers.
Oh, yeah, they know it all. They know it all. Yes, they do.
So you were working, you did a little bit with the Department of Juvenile Justice.
Yes.
You were working as a counselor or a group treatment leader.
Yes.
So that's really all over the board. And so tell me a little bit about how you chose what you were doing as you were maneuvering through your career.
My pivot point was when my grandmother transitioned to glory.
Mm-hmm.
She was on hospice, and they was coming to the house and different things like that. And I just didn't like the way the transition went.
Mm-hmm.
It was more so as they were coming, and like she was already transitioned, passed away,
mm-hmm.
and like just a name or a number,
Right.
And so I didn't want other families to feel that. So I wanted someone to, be there with them, to console the family, or just be there with their loved one, because our hearing is the last to go.
Right.
So you can still hear, hey, Miss Norman, how are you? Miss Norman, Monica's here today. You want to listen to some music. You don't have to get a response, just to know someone is there with you.
Yeah.
And that was major with me. And that's just something that I thrive on.
Yeah. So emotional, it gets very emotional,
Yes, it does.
obviously, at the end of someone, you've been with someone your entire life, and you know that that time is probably going to be ending soon.
Right.
And having people who are able to demonstrate
yes.
compassion and patience
Oh yeah.
and a willingness
Empathy, yes.
it's
Big.
to bring you into the process of moving on.
Right.
Because it's not easy, right? I mean, it's
not. And it's not for everyone either.
it's absolutely not.
It's not for everyone. So I know that was my calling because it was personal.
Mm-hmm.
It was personal, and I wanted to be a relief, a solution for others during that time.
What year did she pass away?
Grandmother passed. Oh, I'm not sure.
I always put it before COVID or after COVID is kind of how
way before. Years ago.
Okay.
Yes, years ago.
And
years
and
ago.
at that time you were doing something else. Were you in the juvenile?
I was working for another agency.
Okay.
I was when I got licensed with my business, I was doing the same thing for another agency.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And so
I've been in the field.
What were you doing?
Home care.
Okay.
Home care. Actually, I was working with a family in Hawthorne, Florida, and yeah.
So
I was there. I was doing all the daily living activities with them,
right,
and just assisting them with whatever she needed help with.
So for the listeners out there, tell us a little bit about what home care is, because you and I know what home care is, and some of them may or may not know. You talked a little bit about daily living
activities.
Yeah.
Okay. With home care, non-medical, I provide non-medical home daycare. I provide non-medical home care, and we provide assistance with ones with disabilities wherever they call home.
Mm-hmm.
We go in, we can help with respite care, one-on-one, companionship, shopping assistance, meal preparation, medication reminders. The list can go on as long as it's just non-medical.
So anything other than medical treatment.
Yes.
So,
we can provide those services.
Right. So, getting to and from places.
Yes, transportation,
right.
Doctor's appointments, shopping assistant. We can either go or we can go with you. We can accompany you. We're just there to be the solution.
Right.
We're definitely there to be the solution.
And that's oftentimes, is it with individuals, or is it with couples, or is it both sometimes?
We've had both. For the couples, we call those the mom and pop case.
Okay.
So it's just a mom and pop case. We provide the same services. And I love those too. I love the mom and pop case.
I think that'd be fun. So the name of your business is Iserve Home Care.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So first of all, how did you come up with the name?
Was it you? It.
Okay. All right.
I prayed about it, and I asked God to give me a name that represented me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always gave, I've always helped, I've always been there, I've always served.
It's got religious undertones to it, right? You got to serve.
Serve.
Right.
Serve first, the rest to come.
What we call that is you're a civil servant. You're a servant of the people, right?
Yes,
on earth, that you're and that's what our politicians are supposed to be as well, right? They're supposed to serve us. I mean, not always, but,
yes, right.
but that's the goal. So, you come up with the name Iserve Home Care. When you started off, were you just by yourself? Did you have a business plan? Was it something that just kind of like, I know you had done something similar previously, so you had an idea.
So by me already being in the field and working, my boss at that time, she coached me along the way.
Mm-hmm.
She seen it in me, and she coached me every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
She coached me every step of the way, and I started off. Yes, I did start off by myself,
mm-hmm.
and it was a little challenging.
How did you? How'd you know what to even do? Like, how did you know how to get clients? How did you know?
Through her.
Okay.
Through her.
So you had a
So
mentor.
she coached me through it.
Okay. So
She coached me all
so when
the
you're
way.
saying coach you, she even coached you after.
Oh, yes.
Okay. It
yes.
wasn't like you're
Yes,
going on to your new job. You're on your own.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
she didn't.
Okay.
No, she didn't. And she gave me the business aspect. She gave me the marketing.
Yeah.
She gave me every field of.
That
every
was
field
very
to succeed.
very generous.
She set me up to succeed. Yes, she did.
That's amazing. And so how long have you been running your business for now?
8 years.
Wow.
Yes.
And so now when you first started, did you start in Gainesville or did you start
In Gainesville.
Okay,
Yes.
so Gainesville was your original starting point.
Yes.
At
Gainesville is home.
and at
Gainesville
what
is home.
and are you still living in Gainesville now or are you
No, I reside in Ocala now.
So when did you decide that you were going to relocate?
About 7 years ago.
And
About
what
7 years
And what
ago.
was the decision? How did you make that decision?
It was both personal and business. My husband is from Ocala.
Okay.
So we met here in Gainesville, but he's
Gotcha.
from Ocala. And it was just time for a little shift and change. So it worked perfectly, both professional and
It was like it was like reinventing yourself.
yes, it did.
Okay, it's
Yes,
pretty
I
fun,
did.
right? Like
Yes. It was a great decision.
So
Great decision.
so you moved down to Ocala and you have iHome already started.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find clients down there?
Networking.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about
Networking,
that. Like
getting
what
out, building those relationships, going to the meetings, following social media, connecting with different groups, referrals.
Yeah.
My referrals are great.
Still.
So yes, they are great. Knock on wood.
And how how many did you when you were working on your own? How
Mm-hmm.
many people could you serve? Like was it one or two? Was it
Yeah, it starts off small.
Yeah.
By a new business, and you want to serve all, but you can't.
right?
So you have to pick and scramble, and you just go through, and as they come, you just see what's a good fit.
Right.
And once you find that good fit, you can move forward from there.
Gotcha.
And it also depends on the hours that they need, service. So we're just there to be the solution. And so at that time, it was just me.
Uh-huh.
So I was able to work, the hours that I could work.
Right.
And what I couldn't, I'll either refer off, or maybe they didn't need a lot of hours. So it just all depends on the family.
And would it be like a long term? Like how was it usually short term, long term?
Both.
Just depended on
Both, yes.
the
It just
conditions.
depends on the situation.
Right.
Yes.
If they were, if I know hospice does end of life.
Right.
Transition
Right. And
type.
we have been there. I'm partners with a couple of hospice.
Wonderful.
And they call us in. It can be for a day. It can be for a few hours, and then we have some that a few weeks.
And so how
So it just depends on every situation is different. So we go in looking at their specific situation.
Is
their
it-
specific care plan?
is it something that insurance covers, or is it just something that they budget in?
It's both.
Okay.
It's both, but mine is primarily private pay.
Right.
Private pay and long-term insurance.
So you'll work with the families and say this
Definitely.
is like what we can expect. This is what the cost would be if you wanted
Right.
this service or that service. And I'm assuming most of it's during daytime.
Oh, we are 24 hours.
24 hours?
Yes.
Oh,
we are
wow.
24 hours.
Okay. So you have people actually live.
Yes.
Is
Well,
that-
you don't live. We go in shifts.
Okay.
Like for if we get a 24-hour case, I typically try to work those in 12-hour shifts.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So that way it's
It's
manageable.
less, yes.
Although I can tell you right now, if you're working that day shift for 12 hours, you're probably beat to heck by the end of that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes. Yeah. You ride the waves.
So how many people are you working with now? Does it just vary or is it?
It varies.
Yeah.
I have a team of, I'm gonna say about 18 now.
Wow.
About 18.
Wow. You went from 1 to 18 in 8 years.
Yes.
That's a big growth.
And
Yeah.
that also includes ones that are ready for the call.
Right.
So,
So you
I
have,
always
like,
try to stay ahead.
Right. You've got
So,
independent.
Like if I get 24 hours today, I have the team to be able to call
Gotcha.
and set that up. So you want to always be ahead and ready for the call.
And how do you vet? Like if someone wanted to come work for you, how do you vet them? Like what kind of qualifications are you looking for somebody that may be interested in working with you or working for you?
Well, first you have to be able to pass the level 2 background screening, and you have your CPR, first aid, at least 2 years of work experience, and And I quote that because I interview my own. And once I sit down and I have a conversation with you, if training is needed, if extra training is needed,
Right.
I don't mind.
Right.
I just want to make sure you have that passion.
You have the passion and the
Yes.
and the capacity.
And, the passion of the ability to serve.
Right. And know that
Because
this is,
everybody's not a good fit for Iserve.
look, it's a tough job because you're putting other people's needs above your own.
Right.
You know, if you're thirsty, it doesn't matter. If you're tired, it doesn't matter.
yeah, no,
if
it
you have a
doesn't.
headache, it doesn't matter. You got to make sure you're tending to whatever you're tending to first.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, you know, the people that you're working for's needs, right?
Exactly.
That's a lot. That's a lot of. That's
It's a big
it's
responsibility.
a huge responsibility,
Yes,
especially
it
with
is.
elderly people or
Yes.
people who have injuries that can't really
Fend for themselves
fend for
or,
this-
yeah.
They're dependent on you.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm assuming that would be, so you have to personally vet all the individuals that come work for you,
Yes.
And-
That's my goal.
and that's your goal. And then
Yes.
as you do it, you know, is it something that you feel like you kind of have learned over the years, like what is a good fit?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. It grows with you.
So
it grows
you
with
can,
you.
someone can walk in a room and you're gonna be like, you'll kind of know if they're the right.
I'm going to have
type-
that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
going to have that conversation.
Because it's your reputation on the line too. So if they don't
Yes.
work out well, it doesn't reflect upon you, and you want to make sure that your standards are
Exactly.
where they need to be. I get it.
Yes.
And so it looks like you've had 17 years of experience working with disabled adults and seniors from private duties to facilities. So you've seen
Yes.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
What has that taught you? Like, what are some of the things that you focus in on? Like, let's say you have someone that is disabled, that is handicapped. Like, when you're going in to assess the situation, make a quote, talk to the family of the people, like, what are some of the things you want to know on a case like that?
I want to know their risk factors. And their risk factors, and everyone's risk factor is different. I want to know, with their risk factors and Iserve coming in, what is our next step? What is our goal then? And what that is asking is, how can we better serve you?
Yeah.
So it's really about the family telling us. We don't come in and tell the family. The family or the doctor, whomever, you know, has called us in. It may be a facility. So when we get the call, we go in to be the solution for your needs.
So you're looking at a case, if it's a tough case, that's going to take a lot of labor, and you're going to have to make that assessment right now. Like, what are we going to do to satisfy?
Right.
your
Okay.
needs?
So say if they are fall risk, you know,
Yeah.
every time
Yep.
Mr. Johnny get up,
Yep.
He may have dementia also. So Mr. Johnny has dementia, but in Mr. Johnny's mind, he's still
fine.
real independent.
Yeah. Don't tell him
So
that.
Mr.
Yeah.
Johnny thinks that he can still just get up when he want to get up,
Right.
But he can't. So in his mind, he's still totally independent. So he gets up. So we need to have somebody right there
Yeah.
to help prevent Mr. Johnny from falling.
And say sit back down. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you may not say it like that,
Yeah.
but you know, you encourage them.
Right.
Redirect.
Redirect.
I
I wouldn't be a good one. I would say sit your ass down. Yeah. I said I don't want you to injure yourself. Sit down. Like, but you.
That may be here, but you know, it doesn't. No,
Yeah,
sir.
right. I got you. Okay, so you're doing
We
it
do
in
a
a
lot of
compassionate
redirecting. Yes, and
I like that
encouraging,
word.
and encouraging.
I'm gonna start using that in my
Yes.
firm. Redirecting.
Oh, redirecting goes a long way.
All right.
Tell me about it.
And so I want to talk about some other stuff that you're working on here.
Okay.
We talked about the Iserve, the companion agency, which is providing quality care, companionship, and consulting services for those that want to start their own. So
Yes,
just like
sir.
you had a mentor, you're there to
Right.
mentor other people as well,
Yes,
which
sir.
I think is amazing.
Yes.
I see something here about your signature brand of empowering, the Empowering Summit,
Oh yes.
which
self-love on high.
empowers teens, young ladies, and young women
Yes.
to live life to their fullest. Tell me a little bit about that. What's the Empowering Summit, and is this something that happens once a year, once every couple of years, or?
Okay. Well, actually, truth be told, I haven't been as active with that.
Okay.
And it's just coming back left and right.
Okay.
Coming back I've been
You've been busy working.
yes,
and-
but
yeah.
that's my passion.
Yeah.
So I have to get back to that.
Right.
I have to get back to it, and I'm in process of getting back to that.
That's great.
And I know it's my calling, a part of my calling and my passion, because I have ones that are just pulling me.
Yeah.
Pulling me. I spoke at a girls' retreat here in Gainesville about a month or so ago.
Well, there you go.
Somebody just called me up, and they still know I'm there. I'm just not like advertising it and as active, but I will be.
Well, I think that's amazing, because honestly, the mentorship is like, I mean, I think you can tell the listeners out there that you wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't for the person that pulled you aside and mentored you and said, Monica, this is how you do it. This is what you do. This is what you're looking for. And now you've built, a really nice business where you're running your own show in a different city than when you were even from, which is a big challenge. So if you can do that for someone else, that's a significant.
Definitely want to sow into others, help others, pull them up, uplift them, and we need that.
So I'm going to read this description from Iserve. Excuse me. I want to make sure I don't know if I have your contact information in here, but I want to make sure we get this out to the listeners before it gets too late, because I want them to be able to contact you. Either maybe they have a loved one that needs service.
Right.
Okay. Or maybe they want to contact you about some information for one reason or another.
Yeah.
So whether it's being a mentor or whether it's for a business. Yes. So once again, Iserve offers compassionate, professional, dependable, affordable assistance in your home for yourself or your loved one. Iserve provides non-medical assistance 24 hours daily, 7 days a week. And Monica's services are tailored to your needs and requests, while helping create and maintain a safe living environment for individuals who choose to remain in their home, giving them a quality of life and their family a peace of mind.
Yes,
so
sir.
that is it sounds like the mission and the purpose behind Iserve.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, let's let the listeners out there a little bit know, how would they contact you if they have a loved one or themselves and they may need service such as you provide?
Okay, you can contact me. My website is www.iservehomecare.com.
Okay.
And my email is info@iservehomecare.com. Our phone number is 352-448-6330.
And so we'll do one more send off before we leave, so the listeners will have one more chance to get that information. But it's really, really important that they know when they're calling you, they should probably have some information together. Is there anything that they should have, like whether it's other than just the name of the person that may need help? Is there anything else that they should have with them when they are contacting you?
Well, actually, no. It's not, because we're their solution.
Okay,
So
I like that.
You
just
give it
call
all to
me,
me.
and I'll figure it out.
You call me with all your issues, your problems, and your concerns, and I'll be your solution.
So no matter what, whether you're worried about money or insurance or providers or whatever it is, call up Monica and she can sift through it and then give you the bottom line.
Let's have that conversation.
Let's have the
Give me a call.
I love it. And just so y'all know out there, the services include companionship, which could be one-on-one companionship.
Yes,
which is definitely, it's an issue with the elderly becoming more and more lonely and isolated as they get older, and that's something that helps
prevent that. Yes,
and that happens quite a bit. Is that older people just get lonely? And
they get very lonely.
And there's nothing better than one-on-one companionship, because then you have those conversations. I'm sure you've had some really good conversations.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And
some really good really interesting conversations.
The older generation still remembers no cell phones, so they can actually engage and have real memories. This generation is who knows, but hopefully it'll turn out well. There's also meals, purchasing, planning, and preparing meals.
Yes.
So it's something I'm assuming you just do on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they need it, we're there to provide the service.
Reminders regarding medication, redirection for clients with forgetfulness. We talked about redirection earlier. Some light housekeeping, dusting, vacuum dishes, something just to kind of tidy. It sounds
Keep
like
it tidy up. Yes.
Okay.
No housekeeping.
No housekeeping, but tidying
up. But
up.
I can refer you to a great one.
Well, there you go. See, one-stop shop.
Yes.
Sitter, so you can have someone. It's not a babysitter; it's an adult sitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Just have someone there present.
So, like, let's say
someone
you have
present.
elderly people that live with you, like your parents. If you need someone to come in and maybe if you're going out of town for a week for a vacation.
Yes, we can come in. That's called respite care.
Yeah, like
We can come in and provide respite care, give the caregiver
Beautiful.
a break. Yeah.
so like you can
Whether
do.
1 hour to 24 hours, 72 hours.
So if you're listening out there and you have in-laws that live with you or elderly people that live with you, and then you need some respite care, Monica's a great option for that.
Yes, give me the call.
You want to go to
I'm your
Europe?
solution.
Go to Europe for a month. You might be able to have.
Hey, yes, we're gonna work it out. Definitely, let's have that conversation.
Let's have that conversation. Accompanying to doctor visits, running errands, doing everything you need to survive. So I think
Right.
basically it's a situation where, like you said, if there's any issues or problems, it's a conversation you need to have.
Yes.
And then you can see what you can and cannot do. It sounds like almost everything besides non-medical care and heavy duty housekeeping is kind of within your purview.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
so we've got 40 seconds left. Monica, before we leave, I want you to say your full information so people can contact you once again.
Okay. You can reach me at www.iservehomecare.com, and my email is info@iservehomecare.com. My phone number is 352-448-6330.
Once again, we'd like to welcome Monica Gadson and thank her for being on the program. Iserve Home Care and Companionship Solutions, LLC, a wonderful opportunity to help people and serve, as she says. So congratulations on your great business, moving
you.
down from Gainesville to Ocala, being incredibly successful, and we're really happy to have you on the program again. So
I'm happy to
thank
be
you,
here.
Monica.
Glad to be here.
All right, we're going to come back. We'll do the announcements, and then we'll be done with this episode of Meldon Law and Friends.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Cary allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there. And I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon, because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again.
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Somebody hit us.
Here we go again.
And we are back here for the final segment of Meldon Law and Friends. This is our chance to do announcements, upcoming giveaways, and events for Meldon Law. So without further ado, I want to talk a little bit about what our practice areas are at Meldon Law. We have offices in Gainesville, Ocala, Williston, Lake City, Fort Lauderdale, soon to be Miami, but we serve the entire state of Florida, and we serve people who have been injured through no fault of their own. You can give us a call at 1-352-373-8000. That's 1-352-373-8000. We will cater to your every need that you may have with regards to personal injury cases. We love helping people throughout Florida, and if you give us the opportunity, hopefully you'll get that great customer service that you are indeed deserve and you're entitled to. So the upcoming giveaways and events, first one that we're going to announce is May 7th. 2025 at 6 p.m. So that's coming up in short order. That's Tom Petty Weekend Live on the Lawn, the Shambles and Friends in Gainesville. This will be located at Heartwood Soundstage, 619 South Main Street, Gainesville, Florida, 32601. Come out to Heartwood Soundstage for the first event in our free Live on the Lawn summer series. The special evening will celebrate the release of Tom Petty Weekend, and there'll be free general admission tickets, performances by Gainesville's electric rock and roll dance party, The Shambles, along with Americana duo Shiloh and local singer-songwriter Mike Boulware. These events should be really cool, and it looks like there may be some actual tributes that you can purchase, but you have to look into the website for Tom Petty Weekend, Shambles and Friends in Gainesville to get more information. But it is May 7th at 6 p.m. Also, Ocala is hosting the Rock the Country concert on May 9th and 10th. This is at the Florida Horse Park, located at 11008 South Highway 475, Ocala, Florida. Geez, this is going to be a huge concert. Looks like Kid Rock, Nickelback, Hank Williams, Tracy Lawrence, Gavin Adcock, Jody Messina, Diamond Rio, Mark Chestnut, Sammy Kershaw, Little Texas, Hudson Westbrook, yada, 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 Yin Yang Twins, Afro Man, DJ Silver. There's a lot of people that are going to be there. This is I think you do have to buy tickets to this particular concert because it looks like there's a lot of big name acts. So that is May 9th and 10th at the Florida Horse Park in Ocala. May 10th, Lake City Spring and Multicultural Fest from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Darby Pavilion. This is at Wilson and Olustee Park. This event is a perfect opportunity to showcase your products, connect with the community, and celebrate our diverse cultures. There will be many crafters, artisan food vendors, and nonprofits to join us for a day filled with fun, food, and festivities. Finally, the Sharon Preview Party in the Villages Prom, May 14th, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So it's an afternoon on a Wednesday at the Sharon Morris Performing Arts Center in Spanish Springs Town Square. That's a mouthful. This free event, audience members will get a first look at videos and details of shows carefully selected to be in the international series, the Broadway series, and highlights of concerts and events worth getting excited about early. In between previews, plan to enjoy live music played on a brand new state-of-the-art Steinway piano thanks to the Village's Philharmonic Orchestra. So mark your calendars, May 14th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Sharon Morris Performing Arts Center. Finally, if you want to get a free copy of our book, you can go to our website. That's 7 Mistakes That Will Wreck Your Florida Accident Casebook ad. We love to educate our community, and we have a free book called 7 Mistakes That Can Wreck Your Florida Accident Case, written by Jeffrey and myself. This guide offers critical advice on what to do after an accident, do's and don'ts, understanding Florida insurance, as well as recommendations on buying insurance and how to protect your interest and all of your assets. You can go to our website, meldonlaw.com, or give us a call at 352-373-8000 for a free copy. And as always, it is summer, but if you ever want to get free tickets for Gator events that are here in Gainesville, check out our Facebook page, Meldon Law Facebook page, for free giveaways. We give away tickets with no obligation. So that's our announcements for today. Once again, thank you for listening to Meldon Law and Friends. We appreciate your audience as always, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Oof.